Okay, at this time it's time for our children's story, and if the children would like to come down front, we have a story for you today. That's the clue, right? Good morning. Happy Sabbath to you young people today. It's nice to have you here today. How many of you like getting gifts? Anybody here like getting gifts? Yeah? You know, you like to get gifts too? Yeah. They're kind of special, aren't they? What is a gift? You ever think about that? So if I went out and I came over to your house, and you will say you had a foot of snow all over, and I came over to your house, and I worked for hours and hours and hours shoveling the walk and the driveway, and your mom or your dad gave me $10. Was that a gift, or did I earn that? Huh? Did I earn it? Yeah. That's not it. What is a gift? Is a gift something that you didn't earn but somebody wanted you to have? Just because they thought you were a special person. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you a story about a couple of gifts. Is that okay? So when I was 5 years old, anybody here 5 years old? No, nobody's 5. Oh, okay. Anyway, when I was 5 years old, we had our neighbors were the Hokanas, and they were wonderful people. And they were getting ready to move away. They had lived there for several years, as long as I could remember anyway. They had lived there, but they were moving away. And Mrs. Hokana called me over one afternoon, and she said, "Brian," she said, "I want to give you something." And she took me out back by the garage, and there was a little red bicycle there. Now, I didn't have a bicycle at that time. In fact, at that time there was 6 of us kids, and we had one bicycle that everybody shared, and it was too big for me to ride. But anyway, there was this little red bike there, and it wasn't a new one. It had been used, but she said, "I want to give you this." But she said, "Before I give it to you," she said, "I would like to have a hug." She knew I was really shy. And I wasn't too sure about that, and I said, "Well, I need to go ask my mom." And so I went home, and I told my mom what Mrs. Hokana wanted to do, and I said, "Is it okay if I give her a hug?" And Mother said, "Yes, Brian, it's okay." So I went back and gave Mrs. Hokana a hug, and she gave me the bike. Oh, I was just in 7th heaven. That was just wonderful. Having my own bike. Nobody else in my family had their own bike, but I did. Oh, I had so much fun on that bike. And it had always been special to me these many years. And then the new neighbors that moved in there, one of the boys, he was bigger than me. He wasn't very nice. He took the bike one day and ran it into a brick wall and broke it, and so much for the bike. But I enjoyed it while I had it. It was a lot of fun. Now then, you know, this time of the year, we stop and we think about something special that happened many, many, many years ago when a little baby came to this earth, and they named him what? Jesus? Yeah, you ever hear about this story? Yeah. Jesus came as a little baby, and he was born in a manger in Bethlehem. And Jesus is the one who came to this earth to live a life for us, and then he died on the cross so that we could have eternal life. And Jesus was a gift. He was a gift to this world so that we could have this. And Jesus, he tells us in Revelation chapter 3:20, he says, I stand at the door and knock. He said, I want to come in and I want to be with you. And he does that every day for us. And we just have to accept him. It's a gift. He wants us to be a part of his life, and he wants to be a part of our life. And I want you to remember that every day, that Jesus came for you as a gift, and he wants to be with us every day. And by accepting him, we can then have eternal life with Jesus in heaven someday. Okay? So you may now go back to your seats. And thank you so much for coming and listening today. Sorry about that. Well, I guess it's official. Okay. Our speaker wasn't able to make it today. I was hoping that somehow he would be able to, so I wouldn't have to do this. But anyway. I'll be perfectly honest with you, I didn't have anything prepared for today, but we're going to make the most of it. I thought today might be a special time, a sharing time, a time of testimony. We've just come through this year. Some of us having a lot of us going on in our lives, many things that we have to be thankful for. And so I want you to just be thinking about that. I would like to share a few things here first with you this morning, and then we will open it up, and we'll have a roving mic to come around if you would like to share something. So first of all, the fact that we're here today, we have so much to be thankful for. Maybe we don't realize it quite so much, but God is with us always, and we just have to take the time each day to stop and take him with us before we go about our daily activities and events. A couple of scriptures I'd like to share. One is Psalms chapter 34, verse 8. Taste and see that the Lord is good. Do you take the time to really experience him? Another one I'd like to share with you is 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8 and 9, where it talks about us humbling ourselves under God's mighty hand, that he may lift us up in due time, and cast all our anxieties on him, because he cares for us. What have you been through this year? What do you have to be thankful for? Many of you know what's been a little bit about what's going on in our family, and I know we have so much to be thankful for. as you know, it's kind of a surprise, kind of a shock when, you hear the term cancer or tumor or whatever. Kind of sits you back, but you also realize it's not the end of the world. But it makes you kind of sit up and take note and realizing where your source of strength is coming from. My wife is the one that's been going through it, but her conviction and assurance that God is there and He's with her each step of the way has truly been a blessing for me to experience and see. And anyway, I wanted to just share a couple of simple quotes today. It's easy to focus on ourselves and not focus on others. And I think that we have to think outside of ourselves, or else we get tied up and we get sucked down. One of these quotes I saw recently was, "Today give a stranger one of your smiles. It might be the only sunshine he sees all day." Another one, "Don't be yourself, be somebody nicer." How true that is, yes. "Never look down on anybody unless you're helping them up." "Don't wait for people to be friendly. Show them how to be friendly." And "you can't live a perfect day without doing something for someone who will never be able to repay you." Or do something for somebody who they will never know who did it for them. That's always special. I love that. That's amazing when you're able to do that. And they don't have a clue, and they might wander through life wondering how something like that ever could have happened to them and who could have possibly done it. "Treat everyone with politeness, even those who are rude to you, not because they are nice, but because you are." And then this one, "Compassion is language the deaf can hear and the blind can see." When was the last time you had compassion for somebody? You have anything at all that you would like to share today? Anybody? I knew I could count on you, Rodica. Oh, they'll bring you a mic. You need one? You just have to turn it on.